be an arm of the board, but it would
No.
be, it's affiliated with the
separate.
district, but I
Okay,
don't know,
okay.
I don't know the legalities of it, quite
It has
honestly.
to be its own
However, we
separate
have
entity.
accepted, we have
It
other
has to be
plaques.
foundation.
From
We
what
have other,
organizations?
well, we have, I'm trying to picture the one that is outside the high school that is in honor of a teacher, and that probably was done by the Teachers Association, but I don't
So
recall.
that's, I think that's different, because that's the Baldwin Teachers Association, and it's a teacher, and I think, there are probably a lot of wonderful people in Baldwin that have done great things for the schools, including tons of teachers who have done amazing jobs above and beyond what teaching asks. And that if we start, it's sort of like when we had the tragic loss of a student this year, and some board members wanted to send from the board a basket of fruit, and others thought, well, that would be setting a bad precedent in case another student dies, we'll have to send another basket of fruit. And I think, if we're hanging a plaque for one organization because they have a member that they feel did great things for the school community, then we'll have to have some sort of committee that decides whether another group that thinks that their member did great things for the school should have their plaque hanging as well, and then we could have a whole wall full of plaques from the different groups who feel that their members have done an outstanding job for the school community. So, I mean, we can discuss it more. Maybe you could give me the other groups that are not affiliated or connected with the school who have plaques hanging around on school district
I can
property.
certainly find that out, but I think,
Okay.
we normally do have a conversation at the board level about things that we accept, gifts that we accept to the district, like the trees that we got from Mr.
Right.
Carbonaro. We had a conversation, he offered them, we accepted them. We have these conversations regularly.
Right, but a
I don't-
plaque is not a gift. A plaque is not really.
With the trees.
No, I'm not talking about the trees. I'm talking about like having plaques hanging. I don't really characterize
Yeah,
it
what-
as a gift as we're honoring the memory of a person, which is very nice to do. I don't know that the school building is the proper place.
This isn't in the
to do
building,
it.
this is outside.
The school property.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Where do they
Unless,
want
you
the
know,
plaque?
because say
Anywhere on
Concerned
the
Parents of
school?
Baldwin, there are members in that group who have for years, like 40 years, been doing amazing things for the district. They do the Martin Luther King celebration. They do a humanitarian award. They do a scholarship. And there are some women, a couple I can think of in particular, who have been doing this year after year for 40 years. And they're not an arm of the board, just like the
But if
BSB
they
is not an arm
wished,
of the board.
if they wish to
And-
do it, they could.
But but they could, but then what about another group?
Why
Are we gonna
not?
take their plaque too?
Why not?
I think it's setting a bad precedent that who's gonna decide which group?
We are.
No.
That's our job, is to decide if we
Without
want to
any
accept that kind of
criteria,
thing.
I think it's setting a dangerous precedent, just like sending a basket of fruit to a family who lost a young child would set a bad precedent because another family might lose a young child, and then what have we done? We're gonna send basket of fruit to every family that loses a child, and we'll decide which family gets the fruit.
I agree with Ms. Ravori. I think there does need to be consistency. I mean, maybe history would help me understand this better, but if it's, do they not have their own space that they can make some form of official dedication?
No.
And if they don't, I would suggest that we do create a criteria, because this can happen sporadically, and we can get a lot of other requests, and we're opening ourselves up for discussing yes to this one and no to this one. So we better be really, really clear if we're saying no, why we're saying no. So if we have to decide on a criteria on how to move forward for these type of requests, that's probably the better thing to do, rather than vote yes, vote no, without some clear guidelines on why we're saying yes and why we're saying no.
Okay.
I'd feel more comfortable with guidelines rather than just saying yes to this request. Maybe we can kind of make the guidelines official so that we're clear when we do say yes and we're clear when we do say no. And then we can decide if we accept this particular plaque as an option, but at least have some clear guidelines going forward.
My opinion on this is, we've accepted the plaque and the trees from Mr. Carbonaro. This request
When was
is coming a couple of years back.
At
I just want
Brookside.
to say, that was not in, I wasn't on the board then, but my understanding
were.
was that I was.
Yeah, 'cause I was on the board.
It was not in memory of Mr. Carbonaro, but it was in memory of the children who
Right.
were killed
But it's
in the
still-
school shooting.
Right, but it's still, it's a plaque. I think in the case of Sheila Cohen, she's someone who served the Baldwin's community.
Oh, no, I know her very well.
Okay,
That's not the
years.
issue.
And it's from an organization that has a close association with the school district. I wonder what the criteria would be then, you know, you have to have served for a certain
I would
number
say
of years.
a lot of the criteria can be which organizations are we allowing? So if it's Stitchy Women or if it's another organization in Freeport, but there needs to be, are they a C3 organization? Do they have to be a legitimate organization that does it? We just need to, I'm not saying no to the plaque, but I'm saying before we start accepting these type of requests, we should cover ourselves and have some guidelines as to why we're saying yes, because if there's an instance where we say no, that's where I'm not comfortable with, because it seems very objective as to why we're saying no. Guidelines saves us on both ends.
No, I think it's reasonable to discuss in general. I'm inclined in this case to say that just knowing the individual who they're seeking to honor and the organization that it's coming from, I would be okay.
But you can see how that's so unfair, because you know this person and this organization, but you don't know concerned parents, but I do, but you might not feel that same way about one of those people and a plaque for memory of one of those people. So that's why Mr.
It's-
Retzka's proposal that this take some time and some deliberation to come up with a system, and there's some guidelines and criteria for doing this. If it's just because you feel a certain way, doesn't
I'm
mean
just
that-
sharing
Right,
my
I know,
opinion,
but-
and then we would vote as a board, and then democratically we would decide whether or not to
Well,
accept
I think
or
that
reject it.
Okay.
we can kind of
All right.
come to this.
Do we have any information on what has been done in the past? Can we get that and discuss it at the next meeting?
We can try.
I mean,
Again, is there a
I mean-
timeline on this as well?
I don't think so.
have we accepted plaques before? No? Yes? Yes. Okay. So can we just,
We can look through the.
can we just look to
minutes
see
and the
what we have?
donations, See what we've done.
And what criteria, like,
Well, I don't think there has been. I think it's been a decision of the board.
Right.
That's why we brought it here.
right. Well, can we just to,
Yeah, so for
So
me
that-
personally, some examples of when we've accepted the plaques would be great.
And when
And
they
the
are.
second point is, if we do say no, I would feel more comfortable.
have we ever not accepted a plaque?
And are these plaques from outside organizations
Right,
or
I just
plaques?
need more
Okay,
information.
so can we just-
Historic information.
Can we
Yeah,
just
so
get
we
more
need to see.
information?
Right.
Thank you. All right.
And again, this has nothing to do with the person that we're getting the plaque from, it's just being non-biased now and going forward.
Okay. All right. So at this time, I'm going to read the important dates, upcoming dates. We have the PTA Sponsors Candidates Forum on Wednesday, April 20th, 8 o'clock p.m. at the district office. School is open on April 22nd. It's a snow day makeup. Schools are closed for spring recess 2, Monday, April 25th through Friday, April 29th. The annual district meeting and budget hearing is Wednesday, May 4th, 8 o'clock p.m. at the district office. And our next scheduled board meeting is Wednesday, May 11th, 7 p.m. at the high school.
The road. There's only a few people here, but I think it's on the calendar, it's April 7th.
Okay, so if it's,
Maybe we should see that.
okay, so it is 7 p.m., even though on the calendar it appears at 8. Okay. So, motion to adjourn? Oh, okay, so we're going to take one comment. Because I did say at the beginning of the meeting that we were only going to have one. But being that you,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just taking Jan Clavin and then we're dismissing.
I have a question, a quick question and a comment. So my comment, I'll jump in first with, is as far as accepting plaques. As a community member, if a group of community members wanted to honor someone and do it in a place where we felt they were represented best, I would be a little insulted if the district had such stringent criteria that we turned away plaques. So given that the BFE is a group that represents alumni and people who have gone through the Baldwin schools, if they want to honor a former president and somebody who has made an impact on the community, I don't know where else they would hang that plaque other than somewhere on the school property. So my personal opinion is, I understand the need for guidelines and criteria, and but I hope that criteria isn't so specific that you're turning away donations or things that the district and the community want to do to honor people who have made a difference here. And my question actually now is, I just wanted to know whether the board had received a request for a scholarship as well from the Baldwin Foundation for Education, whether that had come to you guys, because I didn't hear it mentioned tonight. So,
No.
okay,
Not in this
it was
meeting.
okay. It was something that was submitted to the high school. I guess it didn't get to you guys in time for this meeting. All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, at this time, can I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Mr. Press.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Dreska. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Get home safely.